Hi, my name is Philip Wilson. I have been speaking on far infrared energy and the benefits of it and the healing light that it emanates or emits. And I've been doing this at the Health Freedom Expo for about 7, 8 years now, maybe longer. And actually, I have been exhibiting at the Health Freedom Expo and the predecessor of it since 1980, 81. So I've been around for a long time. I've been into holistic health and I've been into health freedoms from the 70s, especially starting in the late 70s and 80s when all the craziness about fluoride and mercury and the teeth, and these are all toxins. And what's really nice about far infrared energy, it antidotes the negative effects and detoxifies the body of these elements. There's been a lot of research on far infrared ray energy over the years. Now I wanted to I'll mention that there's a classic book by Sherry Rogers. She's a Dr. Sherry Rogers. She's out of upstate New York, and she wrote a book called Detoxify or Die. Here's the book by Dr. Sherry Rogers. Here's a picture of her. This book was written around 2001, 2002. It is all about the healing benefits of far infrared ray energy. Dr. Sherry Rogers was an environmental medical doctor. She dealt with people with multi-chemical sensitivity, and her research, and this is a classic book because it basically documents and documents a lot of research on far infrared ray saunas. And she calls it the superior sauna rather than compared to the finished saunas that did not have the energy but just got you hot. And one of the most important things to learn when you're learning about far infrared saunas and far infrared light energy is that far infrared is a light. It comes from the sun, as does ultraviolet, gamma rays, microwaves, visible light, cosmic waves, X-rays. All those energies come from the sun. And the small band, the visible light, is what we see, and the rest is invisible. So far infrared energy is a light, and so is ultraviolet. Now, the vibration rate or the frequency of far infrared ray that is optimal for human health is between 4 and 14 microns. Anything below 4 microns and above 14 microns does not resonate with the cells of the body. It does not resonate. And so therefore, we resist it because it's not the same as us. When we accept what we are and we embrace it, that's the special, that's the magic. That's when the magic happens, when we allow the far infrared ray energy to go into us. And we only do it with far infrared ray energy because we are far infrared light beings, and water is a far infrared light molecules. Near infrared, mid infrared, ultraviolet, they do not penetrate the body hardly at all. Near infrared penetrates 1 to 2 millimeters, and far infrared ray energy between 4 and 14 microns is known to penetrate the body 1 3/4 to 2 inches. Now, the Relax Sauna company donated one of their 150-watt radiators about 20 years ago in around 2004. And a company in Taiwan, an independent company, did some research and compared the penetrating ability and the increase in microcirculation of the Relax Sauna 150-watt lamp radiator, and compared that to the light of a near-infrared light bulb. This was monumental research. It showed that the light bulb helped a little bit, but the Relax Sauna radiator was significantly more effective in penetrating in rats, in pigs, and in human subjects, and also increased the microcirculation quite a bit more in all three, in rats, in pigs, and in humans. So this is monumental research, and there's much research that Dr. Sherry Rogers talked about in her book about the benefits of far infrared saunas. Now, the Mayo Clinic reported in 2004, and this is very interesting because it's really important to understand the difference between a finished sauna, which is great, and an infrared sauna. And then also to distinguish just as different the infrared saunas that are out there, and there's 20, 100 different companies of infrared saunas, and then the far infrared saunas. Now, it's my understanding that in Japan they have a law, by the definition of far infrared, only the saunas that generate more than 95% pure far infrared light are called far infrared saunas. So I believe that the relaxed sauna is the only, quote, far infrared sauna in Japan. Now, this may not be correct, but the main point is it indicates that when one purchases a vitamin C tablet or any kind of supplement, vitamin B, vitamin D, anything, zinc, you look at the dose and you say, wow, the vitamin C tablet that has 1 gram of vitamin C, that's a lot more effective than a tablet that only has 100 milligrams of vitamin C. And so any nutritionist, any consumer, any owner of health food supplies and supplements, they look at the dose of a supplement. And so, but in the far infrared sauna business, the infrared sauna business, when people are looking at saunas, they never ask, well, how much far infrared ray energy is generated? Well, some notice that the relaxed sauna generates 1,400 watts in the radiator, and it's 98% far infrared ray energy is what I say. And the other saunas, the carbon panels are generally about 36% far infrared ray. I think the stones are about 18%, and the various different emitters in a lot of the very good, high quality infrared wooden saunas, they're about 50%. Some can be as high as 60%. However, I wanted to talk about what is far infrared light? What can a far infrared sauna do? How does it differ, again, like I said, to the infrared or to the non-infrared, to the finished sauna? Well, there was a study that came out just this last year, a 20-year or more study, showing that the benefits of sauna use by the Finns, who did it 4 to 7 times a week, was far more effective than the benefits people receive for their heart and their longevity for those who only did it 1 to 3 times a week, and certainly even more so to those who only did it 0 and 1 day a week. So those who wouldn't finish saunas, lot healthier in so many ways statistically. Very interesting to note, a study also came out recently saying that there's no danger of doing the finished saunas for pregnant ladies. And I've been saying this common sense wise for many, many years. However, the relaxed sauna company, for one, does not recommend pregnant ladies use the relaxed sauna. They say, if you wish to, consult your doctor. In other words, we're not taking responsibility, and it would be irresponsible because no one wants to be blamed for helping cause a miscarriage. So you want to use it gingerly and just experiment. If you've been using saunas all your life, you could probably use a sauna while you're pregnant. I know we did have about 15 years ago when we first started selling the relaxed sauna. We had a lady, she said, I just had my baby. I used the relaxed sauna throughout my pregnancy, and boy, the baby was really healthy. And it makes common sense that if you detoxify the body while you're pregnant, there's going to be less and less toxins in the body, and therefore the baby's going to come out healthier. The people who are naysayers to that say, well, you don't want to have a whole lot of toxins go out one particular day before they get eliminated, but that leaves you free 270 more days where you don't have those toxins in your body. So again, use common sense, use your own judgment, be responsible. I don't want to really talk too much about this because it's only for a select few. But it is related to people believe what they want to believe. They believe what they've been told. And there's so many rumors out there that is, oh my gosh, about 4 or 5 years ago, or maybe 3, 4 years ago, there was a new sauna out called the near-infrared sauna. And they were saying near-infrared does all these things that 50 years of research says far-infrared saunas have been doing. And then they say, and far-infrared doesn't do that. And a lot of people were then puppeting what the big macho, the person who started saying that, And oh my gosh, you got 20, 30 people saying this, and people are starting to believe it's true. Well, it's not, but you know, near infrared have benefit. Near infrared light bulbs have benefit. But what's interesting, when they refer you to the literature on their page, they say near infrared penetrates 9 inches, or the near infrared saunas penetrate 9 inches. I said, what? Anyway, it penetrates 1 to 2 millimeters. But then they have the research that talks about the near infrared lasers. And the near infrared laser are a specific frequency, and they can go 8, 9 inches into the body, but it's only for, and it has nothing to do with the price of tea in China. In other words, the research they're quoting has nothing to do about their own product. So beware, don't believe anything, including what I say. Do your research. I have been promoting far infrared saunas for 19 years. I was promoting an Amazon sauna for a year, and then I heard about the relaxed sauna and found that it had a lot more advanced technology. I said, great. And I tried it. I bought one, and oh my gosh, everyone at my office, my store, they said, wow, this is so much more effective. And the standard is, and it's very interesting because what we've been saying for years and years was echoed by a review of the relaxed sauna on reddit.com. And if you want to see that review, you can go to our page, relaxedsaunas.com. That's relaxed saunas, plural, and then a forward slash, and then Superior, like the lake Superior, but it doesn't have to be capitalized. It's all lowercase letters. So relaxedsaunas.com/superior. And it's got the latest information on the relaxed sauna and latest research. Plus, it's got about 15 videos from many doctors and others relating what the relaxed sauna did for them. There's an athlete on who had hurt himself with his doing push-ups and couldn't move his arm. And after 15 minutes in the relaxed sauna, oh my gosh, different story. And I personally, and let's get into a little bit about my history, because I want to establish credibility that I've been around for a long time, that I know what I'm talking about. I have my own experiences, and I prove them to myself, and I know what I know, and I can't really prove anything to you. I jokingly say at conferences, we all know a picture's worth 1,000 words. It's funny, yeah, of course a picture's worth 1,000 words. And I say, okay, an experience in the relaxed sauna is worth 1,000 pictures. In other words, you get 1,000 pictures. Each one has 1,000 words. And so that's 1,000,000 words you get from that cannot even express what it's like being in the relaxed sauna. And there's a wonderful lady named Rebecca Harder, and she wrote a book called Gastro Girl. It's a compendium of information she gives to her clients. She has 2 spas. One is a colon hydrotherapy clinic, which focuses on in Portland, Oregon, and the other one is a hyperbaric oxygen chamber store, and both of them have far infrared saunas in them. Now, she for 10 years was selling and promoting and using in her practice the wooden far infrared saunas, and for those 10 years, she would come to a health conference. She would see the relaxed sauna, and I don't know what she was thinking, but basically it was, wow. Finally, after 10 years, she decided to try it. She was surprised. She was sold on the relaxed sauna in 3 minutes after turning her nose to the relaxed sauna, not even wanting to try it, because after all, she has a beautiful 5,000, 6,000 aesthetically pleasing wooden piece of art, wooden sauna, infrared sauna. And then she got in, and after 3 minutes, she was sold. And she, this is the book, and she has 8 pages in one of the chapters on why an infrared sauna is an absolute necessity in your home. And I've been saying for years and years that the appliances that we need in our home, we have washing machine. Washing machine is great. It washes every fiber with using this healing water. The water goes through and saturates every fiber and penetrates very deeply into the clothes and washes every fiber in the body. Oh my gosh. I mean, not in the body, but in the clothes, and they come out clean and fresh, and it smells good and everything else. And this is what we want to do with our body. How do we do it? The shower only gets the outside, and we use water. It does not penetrate. The water does not penetrate through the cells, a little bit, but not much. So like near infrared penetrates just a little bit, but not much. So the far infrared ray energy of the relaxed sauna, and here's why. See, water vibrates at 8 microns. That's the vibration and frequency of water. Humans, which is basically actually 99% water, but 80% of our cells are water. Dr. Gerald Pollack wrote a book called The Fourth Phase of Water. And in his lectures on YouTube and in the book, he mentions that accidentally one day, one of his lab assistants shined a light on this fourth phase of water, which is a special property. It's pure, and I can't go into all the details, but when it expanded, and that's what you want. The more fourth phase of water you have in your water, the healthier the water is. You can drink it, it's pure and all that. He says that far infrared light is the most effective light for expanding this phase of water in the water cells in your body. What's also interesting to note that far infrared ray energy that comes from the sun, now the ultraviolet gets the skin hot, and you can feel it. That's how you get sunburn, and you can feel that heat because you're resisting, because ultraviolet does not resonate with the body cells in our water, because ultraviolet light is actually less than 0.76 less than 0.49 microns. Violet vibrates at about 0.49 or 4.9 microns, and or 0.49, sorry, and red vibrates at about 0.76 microns, and then between 4 and 14 would be, and this is equivalent to 4,000 and 14,000 nanometers. Just is the same as about 4 to 14 microns. However, what George Gerald Pollack said is that this is expanded, and we all know, and he mentions this too, that in photosynthesis, the far infrared light from the sun, it resonates with the water cells in the plants, and it energizes them, giving them the power to move and to bend, because plants bend and they move both, and they are charged, and this is called photosynthesis. Now, very interesting to note when it says, okay, we're trying to figure out what is this new concept called far infrared energy, far infrared light. It's a light. And, it's very interesting for me to note that far infrared energy, it penetrates 2 inches through the human body, and it penetrates 2 inches through the sand. Doesn't get the sand hot, but it penetrates 2 inches and resonates with the water in turtle eggs. And this is exciting, because without that happening, the turtle egg would not be catalyzed to create the embryo would not be catalyzed to create a turtle. And so it's the far infrared light that gives warmth when we're out in the sun, our back is to the wall, maybe we have a sweater on, our back is to the sun, and we close our eyes, or we don't close our eyes, and we're doing something, and all of a sudden we feel this tremendous amount of heat inside our body. And that's the resonating of the water cells in our body, responding to the light that's coming from the sun. That's the same frequency. So far infrared energy is magical. It's the special frequency that matches all mammals, that matches human energy, that matches water. And when we are open and we absorb, and the same energy that we are, that's what we absorb. Now, when ultraviolet, as I was saying, comes at us, it is too far away from our vibration rate, so we resist it. We resist it. When we resist it, that causes, it seems that it causes friction, and therefore suntan or sunburn. But and so when you feel the heat on your body when you're in the sun, that's the ultraviolet not being absorbed. Okay, it's stopped, and it penetrates on the surface of the skin. I happen to like the feeling. I happen, however, I really, really enjoy that deep, penetrating warmth that I feel when I'm lying in the sun. Now, of all the saunas I've been into, that I've been in, uh, are infrared wooden saunas, infrared portable saunas, regular saunas, the relaxed sauna. I have felt the strongest by far deep penetrating energy from the relaxed sauna. This is my personal experience. That's one person. However, we have about 1,000 video testimonies that we have gotten at shows because we have demonstrated the relaxed sauna at about 400 shows since 2002. And this includes about 200 professional shows for integrative medical doctors, functional medical doctors, for doctors dealing with cancer, holistic doctors dealing with Lyme disease, holistic doctors dealing with cancer, with mold, naturopathic doctors, chiropractors, massage therapists, colon hydrotherapists, those who are educating people about ozone, those who are educating people about hyperbaric oxygen chambers. And the book that I talked about, Gastrogirl, by Rebecca Harder, besides having 8 pages on the relaxed sauna, she has another 6 pages on the benefits of far infrared energy. She also has articles in here. It's a compendium book of articles by Dr. Sherry Tenpenny, who talks about the dangers of vaccines, Dr. Russell Blaylock, who talks about the so much about microtoxins and neurotoxins. Dr. Paul Harsh, who talks about hyperbaric oxygen chambers. Dr. Morton Walker has written a number of articles. Dr. Dietrich Kleinhardt, one of the most prestiged and famous medical doctors, talking about the dangers of EMF. And he's been very instrumental in helping a lot of people with Lyme disease and autism. And he is a great man, great doctor, and he and many other people. There's about 40 articles in here, and one on rebounding, one on inversion therapy. And it's funny because I started my career in the health food industry. Well, in 1976, I was selling full-time herbal vitamins with specific revitalizing herbs and other health products. And then I expanded into 1980, selling more, and then selling massage tools and wellness accessories, and then rebounders. And I was a certified reboundologist, certified by Al Carter. And we were selling inversion machines at the Ohio State Fair in 1981, 82, I believe, or 83, maybe 2 of those 3 years. And then I started a health distributing company around 1980, selling Chinese herbs, green powders. The green magma was one of the first green powders sold in the United States. And I guess I'm right there at the beginning. It just sort of happened that way. I didn't intend it, but I did have some experiences that propelled me into having some insight. Once you drink of this water, you never thirst again, kind of thing. So I had some experiences, and I don't even know how it happened. All of a sudden, I realized I was pretty aware, and I had a lot of intuition. Very sensitive. I had to, after an experience I had where I was doing some exercises, and my whole body was electrified. I felt so incredibly aware and I became extremely sensitive to meat. I ate some ham, I ate some steak, and it put me comatose for about 7 hours. All I could do was meditate. Later on, I would get more involved in fasting. I became almost like a fruitarian. So I've been I've been into holistic health products since 1971, essentially. My body chemistry has changed 2 or 3 or 4 times, and it's quite a delight to share with you all the time. And every moment of my life has been sharing the benefits of learning to tune in to who you are, to get tuned in, and being in the relaxed sauna is like a truth serum, because when you go in, what's very interesting is you can feel it right away. You feel in about 15, 20, 30 seconds, you feel good. You feel warm. You feel like your loving grandma's hugging you. You feel like you're in the presence of divine love. As a matter of fact, I jokingly say that being in the relaxed sauna is like being in the step-down version of divine love. It's not the same thing, but coming out of electricity is about the best that any company has ever done. So there's another book, and I wanted to talk about Hippocrates. Hippocrates said, and this is the secret to why far infrared energy is so effective. Hippocrates said, find me a way to create sweat or fever, and I will cure disease. Now, if he said that in the United States, he'd be put in jail because it's against the law to cure disease. You're allowed to cure beef, but not disease. At any rate, so what he is talking about is that far infrared energy, when it resonates with the cells of your body, it's very, very magical. And what it does, it causes your body cells to pulsate. It resonates with your water cells and causes them to pulsate. And so what you're doing is you're having movement in the body. Like when you have 100 people in a small room moving very fast, dancing, it's going to get hot in that room. Similarly, if all your cells are resonating with the far infrared energy, it's going to cause the water cells to pulsate. And this magically will cause your body temperature to increase. And that's what Hippocrates said, find me a way to create fever. So with your body temperature increasing, what happens? Well, the immune system, the lymphocytes, the white blood cells start coming out of nowhere, or maybe they're being born. And their job is to basically eat up all the toxins, eat up all the junk that doesn't belong there, that's interfered with the body functioning optimally, and get it out of the body. Now, there are a lot of minerals and herbal formulas and all sorts of protocols that many holistic health practitioners have. By the way, we have gone to many shows with nutritional consultants, nutritional doctors as well, and of course, massage therapists and many of the other healing professions, body workers, naturopathic doctors I mentioned. We've even gone to energy psychology conferences that are very, very receptive to relaxed sauna and to far infrared energy. We've gone to like the Wise Traditions conferences done by Sally Fallon, and that's related to the work of, there's a famous dentist, all of a sudden his name escapes me, but it's, at any rate, Rudolf Steiner talked a lot about, and there's a doctor, can't think of his name, but it'll come to me later, I'll mention it. At any rate, the far infrared energy goes in and resonates with the water cells, creates the body temperature increase, and that mobilizes the lymphatic system, increases microcirculation, relaxes the body tremendously by activating the parasympathetic nervous system. And that is magic, because the stress and the anxiety and the depression and all the mental disorders dissipate and you feel alive. As a matter of fact, about 10 of the videos we have on YouTube, it's really funny. People say, I don't understand it. I'm energized and relaxed at the same time. There's a special kind of energy you feel with the relaxed sauna that you don't feel with other saunas. And the reason why is because there's more far infrared ray in the relaxed sauna, 5 times more than any wooden infrared sauna, and about 9 times more far infrared ray energy. And I was talking about the doses of vitamin C. If it's 1 gram and your body needs 500 milligrams, the 1 gram is going to do it, but 100 milligrams is not. We were at a Lyme conference about a year or 2 ago, and there's a lady who had a portable sauna in her house for a year, and she used it up for an hour, but she's had neuropathy for 2.5 years. And using her other sauna has done very little to help with her problem. But being in the relaxed sauna at the Lyme conference for 12 minutes, she felt feelings in her toes and fingers essentially for the first time in 2.5 years. And she got a relaxed sauna even though she had another portable sauna. And so this is one of the two things I want to point out. And I usually I like to say more about far infrared ray, and I don't really want to talk about the relaxed sauna specifically right now. It's just came up in my talk first. So, you know, I like to listen, and I'm listening to the audience that's going to be looking at this, and I'm listening to inside. I basically have the my antennas are up, and I'm listening while I'm talking because I want to be. It's like a radio wave. I want to be receptive to the information that on the questions that you people see. There is no time and space, and you people who are in the future going to be listening to this are asking certain questions, and so I have an outline of what I'm going to say, but I have to be flexible so that what comes out of my mouth, what comes out of my heart, is the information that's going to assist you and catalyze you to be more free, to become more free. And I really believe relaxed sauna and far infrared energy. I believe this is the appliance that belongs in our home because we don't have anything in our home that treats our bodies as well as we treat our clothes. The shower only cleans the outside of the skin. What cleans inside the body? What cleans the cells? There's a book that came out in 1931 by his last name was Tilden. I think maybe his first name was John. And in 1931, I believe, and he said the name of the book is Toxemia is the Cause of All Diseases. Very, very true. When you have a car engine that doesn't work, if it's got grime and dirt and gunk in it, and you clean the engine, my gosh, it works more effectively. Everyone knows a clean engine is going to work more effectively than a dirty engine. And when you have clean oil, it's going to work more effectively than when you have dirty oil. And these are, I'll say, common sense, but sometimes we don't have common sense, and that's part of the process of how we learn. We have to fall out of having common sense to, oh, okay. In other words, I'm not into judging. I'm saying, okay, that's an experience. When you observe and you accept and embrace whatever is in the moment, strangely enough, later on down the road, reason comes after the fact. By accepting what is, you start understanding it. And so many people crave to understand something, but they judge and they can't accept. And they're really blocking their own understanding. And it's just the state of the world, but that's part of what this world is about. We came here to learn lessons, and I'm here to educate people about the healing benefits of far infrared ray. I believe very sincerely from my own experiences that that far infrared ray energy is, and especially in the relaxed sauna, is like almost touching divine love. It's one of the most the strongest experience I've had of divine love in the relaxed sauna. It's not the real thing. It's nothing close to the real thing, but it gives you an idea because I've had experiences in other dimensions where I've been basking in this energy, and I swear this relaxed sauna is a step down version of that. And that's why, you know, the most wonderful effect of the relaxed sauna is an experience of joy. And when you release yourself of toxins that have been impeding the functioning of your body to be optimally, the functioning of your mind, it helps with depression, it helps with getting a better attitude, and the functioning of your emotions. In other words, all these things are cleansed. Again, you think washing machine, clothes. You think far infrared energy, cleansing every cell of the body and purifying it. And the more purified you are, the more cleansed you are, the more detoxed you are. Your lymphatic system is functioning, which is an ongoing method to get rid of all the toxins and the dioxins, the chlorine, the phthalates, the plastics, the pesticides, the glyphosates, the chlorine, the fluorine, the mercury amalgams, the chemtrails, all the pollution from industry, the hormones and drugs that are in the water supply that are dissolved. I mean, we live in a toxic world, and Doris Rapp wrote a beautiful book. She's about 90 years right now. She's a medical doctor, and at one time she did not think very highly of the holistic health industry. She checked it out and found that she was wanting, and she became, you could say, a convert in a sense. But she's been promoting for 30, 40 years the benefits of listening to your own inner guidance. And that's what the whole, I think some Thoreau said that the doctor of the future will be yourself or something like that. But we have to beat to the drummer inside. We have to listen. Science is nice, but what we don't and have not as a society recognize that a lot of science, we're assuming that the scientists are not corrupt. And unfortunately, we had a case where there was a whistleblower for the CDC who pointed out that the data was manipulated, giving totally incorrect results from what the data could be interpreted. So liars figure and figures lie. This is, I'm as an ex-mathematician, and I haven't mentioned this yet. I usually do at the beginning of my talks, but I have an honors degree in mathematics from Indiana University in 1970. I spent 4 or 5 years in graduate school at Ohio State University studying mathematics and the history and philosophy of mathematics. I also spent, of those 4 or 5 years, I spent a year studying philosophy and psychology, and even studied modern dance. And I studied perception. I studied creativity. I studied Plato. And then, of course, on my own personal studies, I've been reading holistic health information and books on breath and healing light, all this since 1971, 1970 actually, about herbs, about the healing benefit of herbs, of natural medicine, of shamans and so much more. I'm a strong believer in experimenting yourself. You become the scientist. You collect your own data. And when when a doctor says, I've treated 1,000 patients with vitamin C, with zinc, with vitamin D, with vitamin B, and ... and not one of them has died. Not one of them has had to go to the hospital. And even the hydroxychloroquine, and there are some other drugs that are very inexpensive. When doctors use them, they work. And see, we all here at the Health Freedom Expo, and maybe some of you are new or novices, but for those old timers who've been coming to these shows for 30, 40, 50 years, it was about 1909 when there was, and even before, that the AMA, the American Medical Association, which is only a trade union like the Teamster Union, and with Rockefeller's money, they did a major coup, and they basically created a monopoly, which should not have been legal, but things happen. And so what happened is basically anytime the pharmaceutical industry or the American Medical Association hears of a new, quote, cure for cancer or anything like that, when the Rife machine came out, Max Gerson had a therapy. He was very effective. There's a lady who wrote a book, Cure for All Cancers, and and of course Hoxsey had a cancer cure, and so much more. And these people are put out of business. They're harassed. They're harangued. Not doctor, but Ed McCabe talks about in his book Oxygen Therapies, in his later book called Flooding Your Body with Oxygen, the importance of ozone, the importance of oxygenating your body. And Farnfred also does this a little bit. And in doing this, oxygenating your body and doing these things, many people who were pioneers in discovering these therapies disappeared, were bludgeoned to death. I mean, it is horrendous when you see the harassment that has gone on by the FDA, the AMA, and the pharmaceutical cartels, if you want to call them that, the pharmaceutical companies. See, we assume that they have our best interest at heart. But unfortunately, because of a 1933 decision by the Supreme Court that gave corporations the power that individuals had to buy and sell companies and ... and all that, they forgot the balancing part of the equation. The purpose of creating a business is not to make profit. That is in no way, it is the opposite. It's not true as well. It is not the purpose. The purpose of creating a business is to give a service. Now, when you give a service, the byproduct is profits. And this is very important because those profits allow you to give more service. And then when you give more service, you get more profits. And so what you create is not a vicious circle, it's a vital circle. This is the vitality of how all life works. Again, you focus on the pure. What are your pure intentions? Your intentions is to allow information to come through you from your experiences and from your intuition, to share that with individuals so it can catalyze them to become more free and more healthy. Again, the name of this conference is Health Freedom Expo. Health freedoms are very, very important because we control our body. When someone tries to force a vaccine, a shot into your body, oh my God, how dare you? Rape is trying to force a part of yourself into another person's body. How dare you? Force is not love, it is abuse. And anyone trying to force you to do anything against your will is apprehensible. Whatever the word is, but the taking away personal liberties, the pursuit of life, liberty, and happiness is very dear to me. And how dare you interfere and tell me what I should do with my life? When someone says to me, you should, I said, oh, really? How do you know what I should do? You know, do you have some kind of connection with some all superior power and you know what I should do? You know, I mean, the should is, you shouldn't should on yourself. We want to, you know, we want to eliminate, you know, in a gentle way, guilt. We want to eliminate regret. These are not healthy things. If we want to be free, we don't really want to judge anyone, because whatever we judge, it means we have deemed that that's not good. And if anything we deemed is not good, it means we can't do that ourselves. But in order to realize, if we want to be really free, and we think something is bad, we set ourselves up to experience what we think is bad, so we realize it's not bad. And so it's really humorous, the irony of how we create things in our life is everything you have created in your life, you have created. In other words, you can't blame anyone. I mean, it doesn't mean that people didn't do dastardly deeds or were negligent or were not responsible, but that's their issue. The main thing is that when something happens in our life, I set it up to have the experience so I would learn. And the goal is to become more free and to realize who I am. Now, I am particularly, I have been blessed. I had an experience in 1970. It was accidental. I was going through some trauma with a woman, or the fact that she wasn't going to be in my life as much as I thought she would be, and it caused me to go through a tunnel of, oh my gosh, you know, my life is not the same anymore. I can't. And anyway, what happened is, I don't know what happened, but I realized that I needed to get involved in music, art, and dance in order to come out of the hole that I dug, because I was too left brain. My younger brother, while I was in high school, identified me as being a lot like Mr. Spock, which means I thought I emoted, but I must have emoted on a mental level, because I was a mathematical prodigy almost. I was very, very good in math. I was known as Mr. Math in my high school. I got an 800 on the SAT. I finished 3rd and 4th in the state of Indiana in math exams as a freshman, as a senior, and you know, things like that. So I learned to feel. After I had this experience, when they showed me, it turned out that I actually, it was an out-of-body experience, believe it or not, where they took me out of my body and showed me I needed to get involved in art, music, and dance. And then a couple of years later, I had another experience where it was like just as much a change in my, it's like being born again for the second time. And I jokingly say, when you're born again the third or fourth time, you finally get the hang of it. But you're always going to move from one level of understanding or consciousness to another level. And as that happens, our worlds are switched around, it becomes backwards, and all the rules no longer work. you all, many people have graduated high school and they're king of the hill, and then all of a sudden they're a freshman at college and all the rules are different. And this is a little bit of an example of what happens. And we sort of go through a vortex and then we come up on the other end. Now, far infrared energy is, like I said, it's the energy from the sun that the relaxed sauna was able to focus, and it took them 10 years in their research from 1988 to about 1998. It took them 10 years to figure out how to filter out the near infrared and the mid infrared and only give the energy that resonates with the water cells and the human organic cells of the body, which vibrates at 8 microns and 9.4 microns. So they had to get it all between 4 and 14 microns because those are the energies that cause a little bit or a lot of resonation. And when you resonate, that's like two tuning forks resonating. When one does and the other one comes near it, it starts resonating. So the water cells in your body start pulsating, and it's one of the most beautiful experiences in your life because you become alive. Your body starts pulsating. Like I said, and I'm repeating this for emphasis, the detoxification, purification system of your body, the immune system, is mobilized by the heat, the increase in heat. That's a fever, and that creates the detoxification effect. You can use herbal formulas, and sometimes when you use an herbal formula and are not using the far infrared sauna, they are effective in getting the toxin out of the liver, but it gets stuck in the kidneys or stuck in the pancreas. And so it's still in the body. But what happens, you need more oomph to get it out. The relaxed far infrared energy, by resonating with your water cells and your cells of your body, gives it enough oomph to get things out. So it's not a musical chairs, you're eliminated. And the fact that the parasympathetic nervous system, as I stated, that's key. And that's what the relaxed sauna in particular is very effective at, because the more and the stronger you have of the far infrared energy, the more effective it's going to be. Now, we're closing in on the end of my talk. There is another book that I wanted to talk about. There's a classic book. This was printed in 2007 before Dr. Akpenar, who wrote the book. He's a Qigong master. He's a medical doctor. He's also a Chinese medical doctor and an acupuncturist and a holistic dentist. He was voted Best Cancer Doctor 2007 in New York City. He's spoken widely on the benefits of far infrared energy. He uses ozone in his clinic very effectively and recommends the relaxed sauna now, since for the last 10 years, to many or most of his cancer patients and most of his patients, because of what he himself has experienced using the relaxed sauna and what he has experienced with his patients and the fact that their health has improved a lot. There are many, many other doctors. There's a cancer clinic in Washington State where they actually use the relaxed sauna in their practice. They use it in their practice with IV therapy, and they can increase the core temperature 4.2 degrees. In the article on reddit.com by the a review of the relaxed sauna, the guy says, well, I bought an Amazon sauna for $200 and it only increased core temperature a half a degree. It did not perform the heart rate variability test that it says far infrared will do in the research. And it also did, he bought a $500 Amazon sauna, was supposed to be the best, had high whatever, and low EMF and all that, and it didn't do any better. Then he got the relaxed sauna. He said, well, the relaxed sauna is 1,400 watts. The other saunas are 900 or 1,000. And the relaxed sauna, the literature is pretty impressive. It says it's higher level of technology, so he got it. He looked at another sauna that was a $900 sauna, but for a number of reasons that he doesn't quite disclose, he decided that the relaxed sauna looked like it was going to work, and it did. It increased core temperature 3.2 degrees in 25 minutes compared to a half a degree, and all the heart rate variability tests that he performed on the relaxed sauna exceeded what the research said it would do, and that's because the relaxed sauna has more far infrared energy than in the saunas they did the research on. And so I mentioned 3 books in the Relax Sauna. I want to talk about the Relax Sauna page, relaxsaunas.com, relaxsaunas.plural.com. You can go there to find more information. My email is phil@relaxsaunas.plural.com. And my phone number, if you wish to call me, is 626-200-8454. We have an office, a store that takes care of the Relax Sauna sales, and also it's a health food store of its own right. And they sell massage tools and all sorts of stuff there. That's Momentum 98 Natural Health Store and Relax Saunas of Momentum Office. The phone number there is 614-262-7087. Now, this is the Health Freedom Expo. We're having a show special. We have a code HF20. That's a discount code. And if you go to relaxsaunas.com and you decide to order a sauna and you put it in the carry out, you check out, and then it'll ask you for a discount code, and you put in the code HF, that stands for Health Freedom 20, and put that in. It doesn't matter if it's capitalized or not. It'll give you $125 off. The price of the sauna is $1,300. That brings it down to $1,175. Shipping in the States is $25, so that'll be $1,200 delivered. It's a special good till Tuesday. I think Tuesday is the 31st or something like that. I'm not sure, but Tuesday, whatever the 31st of October, the show special will be good for. Or actually, I think it's Tuesday the 28th. It'll be good for $125 off. And after that, the code HF20 will be good for $75 through the middle of November. So we're giving you a little window to decide. We don't want you to procrastinate forever, because people come back after experiencing Relax Sauna at a show, didn't buy it, and said, I'm buying it now. I've been waiting for a year. I said, you lost $18,000 worth of services. The Relax Sauna is worth at least $50 a day. And so anyway, the code is HF20, relaxsaunas with an S.com. I could talk for another hour about the benefits and all the experiences that people have. I think I did mention the lady, I've given so many talks recently, so I'll say it again real quickly. There's a lady who had heavy metal toxicity. She, for 2.5 years, her heavy metal reports for mercury and lead came back too much. After using the Relax Sauna for 1 month, her report came back where it was normal for the first time in 2.5 years. A lady who had experienced the Relax Sauna, she came in her bathing suit and did a 30-minute sweat at the Relax Sauna at our booth. She and her husband have a $5,000 wooden sauna they've had for 5 years. After she came back an hour later and said, after 8 to 10 minutes in the Relax Sauna, I experienced the most profound, deepest sense of relaxation I've ever experienced in my life. So the Relax Sauna is powerful. We had a lady in Dallas who was in a wheelchair. She got in the sauna and she could move her hands for the first time. And magic happens like this all the time. Of the 120,000 people I've put in the Relax Sauna, I believe we've had about 20 to 25,000 minor or major miracles. Again, I'd love to say more. I hope that you will do some research on far infrared energy. Any sauna, any infrared sauna, it's going to benefit you, some more so than others. I liken the Relax Sauna to 26-inch professional bike. Some of the cheaper saunas are like 22-inch bikes with training wheels. They'll get the job done, but not as comfortably. Again, it's the importance of the light, not the heat. As the Mayo Clinic mentioned, it's very therapeutic for their patients, and yet they recommend not going into a regular sauna or a hot tub if you're a heart patient. But definitely the infrared saunas, the far infrared saunas, are very therapeutic. Thank you for attending this interactive, remote, virtual expo, the Health Freedom Expo. Again, I've been speaking at it for 8 or 9 years. It's one of my favorite expos, and thank you so much for attending. Again, please contact us at relaxsaunas.com or order a sauna. You'll be very grateful. It's one of the best things you can do for your health and your life. And thank you very much for listening. This is Phil Wilson saying bye for now.